Hey guys, today we're talking about stress. It's a topic most people know about. Most people can argue they're experts at it because we deal with stress everyday life, especially as college students. But what exactly is stress? Well, stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. Basically, when you have too much to handle and it feels like nothing can go right. I mean, we all know what stress is. We've all been there. We've all been stressed. Now, there's several types of stress. You have the arousal, which is just a state of readiness to perform that helps motivate individuals. This could be anything, just knowing you're about to play a game. Any situation can lead to this arousal. Eustress is a positive reaction of performative stress, leading to optimal arousal. This is when you get pumped up by maybe a coach or maybe even a pep talk. Listening to the music could be eustressful. Get you pumped up for whatever the situation may be. You have stressors. This is a situation that causes a stressful response, and that can be anything. Like I said, that can be a eustress, and it can be music, pep talk, anything, or it could just be an unexpected event happening, or maybe a 200-point screencast that's due on the final day. Not sure. I feel like that would count though. And there's one other kind of stress that's not mentioned here, but it's distress, and that is the common type of stress. It's negative reaction to stress. Now, there's two theories to stress. One is Hull's theory, and there's a linear relationship between performance and arousal. Now, it's simple. The more aroused you are, the more performance is going to be, or the more experienced you are, the better you'll be under pressure. Therefore, novices will not perform well under pressure, but experienced athletes should play better under pressure. And the following equation describes the theory: drive, or known as arousal, times habit equals performance. And what that means is, if you're motivated to do it, you can try it, but the more it's a habit to you, like continually playing for me, basketball has become a habit because I'm not a super star basketball player, but I've played basketball for so long, it has become a task that's simple to think about. I can shoot it without even thinking the ball. I know what to do as a habit. I mean, it's easy to perform, and if I'm aroused to it, there's a chance that I'll perform better than someone who has never played before and does not have the correct habits. Another theory is the inverted U-law. It's very simple. It states that arousal and proven importance at an optimal point. And what that means is, I'll show you here. It looks like this, just an upside down U. And it says, the further you go along, the more aroused you are, the higher performance will be. Like if you're going up here. There's an optimal point to where you're getting aroused, but too much arousal will cause you to mess up, whether you're stressing out because you messed up, or maybe you get too excited and you're not thinking, you're just acting crazy and you're no longer performing to where you can play. There's three rules of inverted law. The activity. Some activities require lower arousal. You don't need to be precise as much. These are more precision skills. You don't have to be as aroused to get up for it. But a team sport, you might need more arousal. Your skill level. Now, your skill level will affect how aroused you need to be for a certain situation. But one of the bigger ones is personality, the third one. Because two types of people in the world, really. Well, you could argue with three. One is introverts, two is extroverts, and the other one could be a combination of both. But what it is, personality-wise, is an extrovert, someone who's outgoing, will thrive in situations that are crazy, out of control, calm. They love that kind of stuff. They thrive in it. An introvert is going to like calm, low arousal, stuff that doesn't take too much to get up for. An extrovert loves to be crazy, loves it being wild, thrives in unpredictability. Now, how do people respond to stress? There's three stages of stress I haven't mentioned here. There's the alarm reaction. That's the initial stages of stress. And this is where you choose whether to fight or flight. What that means is, if you fight, that means you stay and you try to beat the stress, you try to carry on without it, or you fly and you just quit and determine it's not worth it. There's the resistance stage. That's where the body adapts to manage the stressful situation until it overcomes or passes. This is where you're getting used to it. You're learning to handle the stress. This, if you chose to fight, you would move on here, and your body starts to get used to it. Although stress doesn't necessarily, it's not a good thing for your body over time. Stress can keep you going, and it is good to have stress in your life, but it's not good to have negative stress or too much negative stress. The third stage is exhaustion. If the situation is not rectified, the body begins to fail to cope with the stress. What that means is you can have so many stressful events happen in your life, and your body just starts to fail, and you can't handle it. You might get to the point where you're not sleeping, everything's on you, you're not even hungry, you don't have an appetite. And there's even to the point where if you remember when you was extremely stressed, you was probably in the exhaustion stage, where your body failed to cope. You can probably remember a time when you were how stressed you were. Right around the same time, you came down with a bad cold or maybe even the flu. It's because your body cannot handle stress over an extended period of time. What happens if you go into stress? Well, negative stress, like I mentioned, can send you into depression, all this, but this is the stress spiral. This is a positive upward stress. What happens when you're happy? And this is your negative downward spiral. Alright, so to talk more about stress, I have some videos to show you, and I have a control group, which we'll see first, and a test subject. I'm showing the effects of stress and how stress suddenly can change the performer's ability to perform the task. Now we first have the control group, and what we're doing here is we're just flicking a paper football. We're trying to get as close to the edge as you can, so you can score a touchdown right about here. And as you see, as we flick the football, we're measuring within inches of how close to the edge you are. See, it will flick the ball, then we'll take our ruler, we'll measure it, we'll write it down, and we're trying to get as close as we can. To add a little stress to both the control and the test subject, at the start, we told them that in knockoff, if you flick it off the table, it is a 25-inch penalty. We just say you score 25, and you look bad. As you see, knocked it off as a 25. And so you have two different performers here. You have one, as you can see here, decides to start laying it up a little bit in a while after she determines he doesn't want to knock it off anymore. And as you can see, this is this control group. You just measure to see how far away you are. And after a while, 15 shots. And then after her 15 shots, she'll rest 5 minutes. She'll come back and see if she's retained her skills any and see how well she will do in her retention. Alright, this is the test subject. They are faced with the same skills. They both have the same equal number of stress to start with. They don't want to flick it off. Very good shot. First off, landed a 0 for landing on the edge. But both of them face the same stress level as if they knock it off, they get 25 and it messes up their score a little bit. However, this is as the test subject, you'll see what we do in a minute. And about 4 more flicks he gets. On the 9th one, we add a extra stress level to them to see how stress affects them, whether it's positive or negative. Right now, just a continuous stress evaluation. See, don't want to knock it off, just trying to get close to the edge. I believe here we go. We added a little box in there. You're just trying to get as close as you can in the box now. If you knock the box over, it's an extra 25. It's a 25 penalty. If you knock both off, it's 50. So therefore, we added more stress to see how they react. As you can see, the results a little worse as he tries to lay it up, afraid of knocking it off and having a score worse. And I believe right around here somewhere, he knocks it off. See right there now. What we did to this is, since he didn't respond well to the stress, right there we added a second box and had opportunity for more failure. This would happen to be the last trial though, I believe, from the stress. And he goes back to the normal test where he just flicking the ball to the edge for the last 3 or 4 trials. And again, after 5 minutes, he would come back to his retention, see how he did, how stress affected him, whether it was positive or negative. Alright, after the tests were compiled, we tallied the scores, as you can see here. And you can't take the scores against each other. You have to look at them throughout the period of time, because one person obviously maybe not have played paper football before, didn't want to knock it off, played it up a little bit. So we're looking for consistency, and as you can see, pretty consistent most of the way, right around the same trial. Occasionally some good hits might have landed 1 inch away, or just here, and our second to last trial landed 2 inches away. And occasionally he knocked it off on 25s. The experience, you see, and you can see it on the graph how pretty consistently the blue sticks together. Came back for retention here toward the end. Showed quick improvement, but like I said, right around the same area. She retained the skills pretty well. Now our test subject, the one who feared the more stress, who got added with it at the end, as you can see, started off very consistent, kind of a little inconsistent actually. He would start off real well with a 0, landed right on the edge, jumped up, had a good one, up, as I knocked it off. Then we had 2 good ones. Then we added the stress. As you can see, he responded real quick with stress right here. 1 short on 1. Had 2 right up to it. And then, as you figure, maybe thought I should go for it one time because he got a little confidence and knocked it off. Had to go again. But after that, responded well. Took away the additional stress. Went back, and as you can see, responded real well toward the end. After retained, back from the retention tile, maybe confidence got ahead of him again. As you see, knocked it off the first trial, but other than that, the last 4, very good. So, as you can see, maybe stress helped him out. After facing it for 4 trials and getting used to the experiment, flicking the football toward the edge, he gained a knowledge of how to do it. He learned the skill, and the stress, while it may have added a little arousal, seemed like he responded well to stress, and at the end it seems like it may have helped him a little bit. So we can conclude toward the end that stress, a lot of stress is not good for anybody. Negative stress can be harmful to our bodies and can cause us to lose many hours of sleep, lose an appetite, many things. Our body could fail. Our immune system can start failing. But when we have the right amount of stress, it can be positive for us. And this is a simple experiment, obviously, it's just flicking at paper football. But as you can see, some people respond well to stress, and it can help our lives. So because we need a little stress, because if we go around and we're not stressed about anything, we may never get the thing done. Like this experiment here. If I wasn't stressed about trying to get it done before the deadline, I may wait to the last possible second. But since I needed a good grade, I started the experiment earlier, so I can give myself plenty of time to get this done. That's all I have. I want to thank you for your attention, and have a good day.